I tell you, as somebody who can tell us what was going on in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania today, Mr. John Hohenwater, NRA ILA's Pennsylvania State Liaison. How you doing tonight, John?
Good, Cam. I can tell you what's going on. I can also tell you there's been a lot of candidates that are up in the polls the day before the election that woke up the day after election and lost. So that's, something to think about to our members, just because some of these candidates look like they're up in the polls, we still got to get out and vote.
Yeah, don't get cocky. That's
no way.
Absolutely. All right, so today was the day we were supposed to see a ton of anti-gun amendments attempt to get attached to Castle Doctrine. The good news is that didn't happen, right?
Well, it didn't happen. There was quite a bit of debate among the members and in between both caucuses about how to address these amendments that were filed against this bill, because the way, with these amendments filed, you were going to turn what is a simple vote into perhaps an evening of voting. And I have to tell you, I'd still be in Harrisburg tonight if this procedural move didn't take place.
Yeah, because they wanted to throw like everything out there. I mean, one gun a month, storage laws.
Oh, we'd have been there all night, without question. And I'm confident we would have prevailed, but it would have been a long process. There would have been a possibility maybe some of the amendment sponsors would have withdrawn their amendments, but it still would have been a long night. But the interesting procedural move came from the Republican leader, Sam Smith, and it's a Rule 61 here in Pennsylvania. It's used very rarely, and when it's normally used, it's the majority party that uses it, and this was used actually in a bipartisan effort. But what you do is you make a motion for the previous question, which was the House Bill 40 on second consideration. After that motion's made, then 20 members have to second it by standing up.
Okay.
And after which, then there's a vote taken on the measure to go to the previous question. And we had bipartisan support. There was I think the vote was 146 members stood up that said, to heck with going through all these amendments. We're going to go to the previous question, which was the original bill, and then the bill would then have to be voted on second, which it was voted, and we had 156 votes.
Nice.
On the bill, which is a great, obviously, vote count. 156 out of 203 is nothing to complain about. And I think tomorrow in final passage we're going to pick up a few more votes.
So tomorrow it goes back for the third and final reading, and then if I'm assuming it will clear the House, it'll go over to the Senate.
It will. The bill has to be have three readings. So tomorrow's the third reading and final passage, and it will go over to the Senate tomorrow. And I would imagine we're going to be in the 160s tomorrow in this vote, which is great because it really shows the Senate the support that is out there for the measure, that it is a bipartisan bill.
Is that a veto? Is that a veto-proof majority, John?
Excuse me?
Is that a veto-proof majority
that we're going to have in the House?
If it was 156,
we'll have veto-proof majority in the House.
Okay.
But the problem we're going to have is, they're going to be wrapping up things in a few weeks, and if there is any vetoes, there's absolutely no guarantee they're going to come back to do any veto overrides, because this probably could be the only veto that would take place. I mean, this. Really, when it boils down to it, the House did step up to the plate. They're going to vote this out tomorrow. It's going to have over 160 votes. This is now in the Senate, and it's time for the Senate to play ball on this measure. And there's going to be a lot of heat that's going to come down on the Senate next week, and it's going to be interesting to see how this pans out. House Bill 40 to get to the governor's desk is going to be difficult just because of the legislative process. However, we have a bill sitting over there right now with an amendment filed, which is the House Bill 40 Castle Doctrine bill, and it's the measure that we tried to do last week. So it's sitting there. Maybe this will give them the push to get things done, and that's what we're going to be working on next week.
All right, well, let's hope so. John, I'm glad you could come on the program tonight and keep us updated. So gun owners in Pennsylvania should start should they start talking to their state senators now?
They should start calling tomorrow.
Okay.
Get on the phone, start calling, because this is going to be, it's going to be a hot issue, and it's certainly not going to be a slam dunk in that Senate. I mean, there's no question the votes are there in the Senate. We'll have close to 40 votes in the Senate on this measure. It's just a matter of getting them to do the right thing, and that's what we're going to be working on.
Yeah. All right. Well, John, thanks again, sir, and we'll talk to you again very soon.
Will do, Cam. See you.